Hello, welcome to an all-new Marvelcast, Exposure Network's hub of all things Marvel. Let's talk about everything MCU and beyond, from Avengers Defenders to Lilith and El Shalazar. My name is Ashley Hobley, the Explosion Network's cosmic superfan, and joining me today is Ultimate Ciaran Marchant.
I feel like you should, you should at least practice saying names. Like, even if the audience don't hear that first attempt, I feel like you should both practice them. I practiced
in my head, and just the words did not come out properly. Also joining us is astonishing Dylan Blight.
Happy to be here to talk about American Gods.
Is this thing episode?
There's a gin and there's
one
gin
gin
in American Gods.
You could have excited to be here to talk about Aladdin. I mean,
yeah,
right, maybe it was a bit.
I was going for
but
I was going for something a bit more,
all right,
hardcore.
Yes. So today we're talking about the latest episode of Ms. Marvel. But first, if you didn't notice, Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness is available now on Disney Plus. You should go watch that if you haven't already, and go listen to our spoiler cast, which we talk about all the things that happened in that movie. I'd be very surprised if you have not been spoiled already at this point, if this is now you're watching it, but
that feels awfully soon after. Like, how has it been? Like, what, 2 months? 3 months?
Must be.
That's what they do now. They've done it for like every.
I thought they did it where it comes out to like premium rent. Like, you have to rent it if you want to watch
not
it.
Anymore.
Nope.
They dropped that.
Fair
I think.
enough.
Yeah. So Doctor Strange came out May 5th. So what? Like 40 days? 50 days? Something like that. 45 days. That sounds right. The window they give. So yeah. Check that out. But today we're talking about episode 3 of Ms. Marvel, Destined, directed by Meera and Menon, teleplay by Freddy, Syborn, and AC Bradley and Matthew Chauncey, story by Freddy, Syborn. Ahead of Aamir's wedding, Kamala must face grave consequences due to a crucial decision she makes. Ciaran, what do you think of the latest episode of Ms. Marvel?
I thought it was a lot better than last week. I know a lot of people like last week. I was probably in the minority, but I feel like this episode had some good. I feel like there's still pacing issues for, like, just overall. Like, I don't know. I feel like it feels very rushed halfway through this episode. Like, there was the potential of the Jinns being good and them wanting to work with Kamala, and that very quickly turned into, nah, we're gonna go stomp up her family wedding and go attack her. And then they have weird teleporting powers. Like, really weird, like, superhuman teleporting powers, which I know that they seem to be super... Like, I don't know if it was just the editing, but they were in, like, one place, and then all of a sudden they're, like, in a different place. Like, there was a shot of all of them walking into the wedding and looking cool and walking in. And then the next couple shots, we have Kamala running into the back area, and one of them's like already in the back area waiting for Kamala, and there's another one already in the back area waiting for Kamala, which I'm like, how did they get there so
there was
quickly?
A fire alarm. No one would think it was crazy that they were running away, right?
No, but like it was like I don't know. Considering Kamala had a head start, and they were only just walking into the main banquet hall.
She's just a little girl.
And then like, a bit later, there's like finally when she starts punching them all, she gets down with Bruno and goes downstairs with Bruno, and then all of a sudden they're already downstairs. Like, they beat them to the front of, like, one of them beats them to the front of the place. I was just like,
very fast. Maybe.
I don't know. But other than that, I thought it was really good. I thought it was an interesting change, a differential to Kamala's backstory. Maybe it's I don't want to say a bit too grand scale. Like, I don't know. I liked Kamala feeling a bit small-timey in terms of, like, the scale of her problems and the scale of her story. Maybe, we've gone to a very bigger level when it's talking to beings from another dimension. But other than that, I think it's going in a good direction. I'm interested to see where the next 3 episodes go.
All right. Dylan, what did you think of this episode?
Fantastic. Still love it. I'm loving this show. I think this is one of the best Marvel. I think this is easily one of the best Marvel shows. I'm episode after episode. It's just really exciting. It doesn't at this stage. I feel like anything that's a Marvel show that isn't really a Marvel show is probably going to get me the most interested, which is where we're at with this. Like, I'm just really enjoying all of these characters. I'm enjoying the not rushing straight to, end of the world time bullshit superhero stuff that I get so sick of. I'm enjoying all just the growing up side of it. I love the wedding scene and like the fact they didn't rush through that. I thought that was fantastic to see in this. There's like all these little elements, and overall I'm episode after episode, I'm really, really enjoying it. I actually, again, I'm put the asterisks on that I put every other week where, like, I've never read Miss Marvel comics. I have no, like, attachment to this character or anything like that. I think changing their backstory. So I did a quick Google afterwards. I was like, so Jin's, like, something in Marvel? Apparently they are, very briefly, like, Earth 616 is what the Googles told me. Something I didn't know at all. But obviously, that's a complete change from Miss Marvel's, Kamala's, like, the way she's set up, as Inhuman and all that sort of stuff. Yes?
Okay, so, no, finish your point. I've got a crazy tangent to go on, or crazy
I think
theory.
This is a really good change, though. I actually think that changing, like, because the thing is, right, we exist in the MCU, in this universe. I like how you've got, like, these Asgardian beings, right? And like how that's all tied in. And they're like a mythos of a certain, like culture and everything, like the Asgardian beings. And now they've brought in Jinns, which are these mythos of like, like they're not like, it's Jins, I think. Like, I think it's not genies as in like GENIE, like like Aladdin, like I was saying before. So, and this is the reason I thought of American Gods is because I didn't know anything at all about Jinns. Like, I'd never heard of them. Didn't know any like sort of like mythos to these creatures or whatever you want to call them at all until I watched American Gods. Which the first season's fucking fantastic, and then it goes to shit. But in the first season, when they introduced one, I learned, like, I never heard of him, and then that made me like do a whole bunch of reading after the fact, especially because I was doing a podcast with Nicholas Pryor at the time, like talking about them. And that episode was the best episode of the season, where they have this they have this Jinn in it. So like watching this and then being like them like tying in like this Muslim, I guess, like this real thing to the powers and everything. I think that's actually a really cool way to like to change her the mythos and everything that's going on here. So yeah, I kind of like it. I know everyone's going to get pissy about the Inhuman thing and still like hope it's a swerve. I know you're about to give me a theory that's probably a swerve. I'm going to say I hope it isn't a swerve, and I think this is perfectly fine.
I don't think it is a swerve.
No, it's not a swerve. I will say, she could have just said one of the many names that we called Inhumans. Like, they're from another universe.
Yeah, but I don't think they want to, because
I know
they may introduce Inhumans eventually.
I know. I think I'm perfectly fine with the change. I think it works. It is a little bit on the nose that, it's based on an Islamic folktale. You know what I mean? It's like, let's get the first ever Muslim superhero, make them based on Muslim folktale. You know what I mean? It's a little bit on the nose. But apparently, in the comics, the Jinn are a species that were created by Lilith. Lilith, of course, people would probably know from the upcoming Midnight Suns, big bad guy in the MCU, in Marvel Universe. Do you know who she was married to?
Oh no, I don't want to. No, I know this, and I don't want. No, he's not coming to the MCU. He's not coming.
He's coming. This is the saga we're building up to.
No,
this is the one Kevin Feige's been teasing.
No,
we're going all supernatural. That's Mephisto confirmed. Yeah, I enjoyed the episode as well. I enjoyed a lot of it. Yeah, like you said, it's very much it is very much a teen drama. With all the wedding stuff and the family drama and like her just parental advice being handed out like every 20 seconds. It's pretty great. A lot of fun. I agree with Ciaran. Like, they did like turn very quickly. It's like, you couldn't wait till the day after her brother's wedding. You come to me on the day of my brother's wedding.
Well, even just like having more of them trying to manipulate Kamala or trying to be nice to Kamala and trying to draw that out. Not
like,
the
nah, we're just gonna beat you up.
Yeah, it just escalated very quickly from her being like, "Hey, I hear this thing's kind of dangerous. Maybe we should give it a bit and work it out a little bit more. Because it's like she didn't even say flat out no. She was just more of a case of let's just take a breath and figure this out. And then it was just like betrayed us. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yep. I did like the first scene where it's like they're obviously right after last week, in the house, and she's introducing him, dropping all the knowledge, and obviously, the major concern is Cameron. Like, is he 100 years old as well? And very relieved that she's only 17 as well. So Kamala very happy, and then there was very much the teasing of him, which feels very true to any family. But yeah, that's super enjoyable. We get a little bit more of the Bruno thing getting pushed forward. He confessed that he's going to Caltech. He was very disappointed about, not getting to dance with her at the wedding, I think.
I think one of my least favorite parts of this episode is actually just Bruno becoming a bit of a mopey bitch.
Wow, the look on Ciaran's face. Priceless.
What?
You want to defend Bruno?
What? Becoming a bit... This is once again, right? This is them rushing stuff. We've had to go to Bruno being like, what the fuck? Like, No, I just feel like he's... Yeah, it does feel very rushed, him becoming, as Dylan puts it, a mopey bitch. And I think it's just from my point of view, just somebody who's in a very frustrating position that doesn't know what to do, or doesn't know how to handle his emotions and handle his feelings and stuff for Kamala. And her and her family are really important to him, but he's having to leave, and he's not managing that very well. And there's this new guy that keeps getting his name wrong and barging in on moments. I do love that he calls him Brian. It is Brian. Quite funny. No, I understand what you mean though. It is probably an escalation.
I think it's the part where he's like, oh, I got into Caltech, but I can't leave unless I know you're going to be okay, and all this like sort of stuff.
But that's totally reasonable because she's about to do some crazy thing with this bracelet thing.
I don't know. The way he words it's like, you're holding me back because I need to know you're okay before I can go to school.
The thing is, I never thought him holding him back because I never... Like, I don't know. I guess from that conversation, I never...
In my opinion, it's more impressive that he actually says he wants to go. I thought it was I thought it was going to go the line of, no, I didn't go to Caltech because I wanted to be here for you. Yeah.
The way that conversation was going for me was that he was always going to go. It was just a case of, I want to know that things are okay here with you first before I end up doing that.
Yeah, so we get that. We got damage control, like just bursting into mosques as they do,
Fucking government, man.
Fucking government. Don't even take the shoes off.
Yeah,
that's the type of people who are there. I do love Nakia in that scene, like telling them they can't come in. All the knowledge I've got about criminal system is from Law and Order reruns. I
like how she's like board member or whatever, and then in the background you hear like, not yet, or whatever. She's like, well, presumed. Like, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, that was super fun. And then when she goes to see Kamala, she's super depressed, but she's just gotten good news. Was it all a fake pretending to be depressed? I don't know. Craziness. It is setting up some sort of... It was clearly setting up some sort of tension between the two with the secret. How do we feel that's going to play out? Are they all going to be... They're going to be cool?
No, I think they'll be cool. I think they'll come around. It's fine. It'll just be the whole, you should have told me, why was you keeping it a secret? I'm supposed to be your best friend. Then they'll be angry.
And Bruno's like, I'm right here.
Yeah. I think that's all it'll be.
Okay.
She'll come. I hope so. I don't think it's like a secret villain.
I don't want I don't want to turn on her or anything.
Actually, minor point just to circle back to Bruno. Bruno getting smacked into that wall was fucking hilarious. I don't know what it was. I don't know what it was, but just how his body ragdolled into that, like,
you just like seeing
like
children. You just like seeing teenagers getting smashed.
I don't know, man. It was just like I don't know if it was the sudden acceleration of his body movement, but he did like a backflip, but then ended up like parallel to the ground, flying into the wall at the same time. I was like, this is...
Yeah, he definitely went back first. I mean, that's probably the best.
There's a lot of that in this show, just teenagers getting flung into walls.
I mean, Kamala gets put through a wall, right?
Yeah, true. Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to talk about that fight scene? Did we like it, or I liked it?
It was alright.
I don't think it was...
I don't think it was. I don't think
it was super impressive. But I
think it did the job of like showing
got...
her like her first time having to fight, and she's like, she's just defending herself. Really, she's not fighting back.
No, she's just using a shield effectively.
Yeah,
except for that one time when she throws a punch.
And until she saw Bruno get hurt, and then she's like, ugh. Yeah. Also, that reminds me. Dave, you notice the little boy wearing the Hulk costume at the wedding?
At least you know it didn't get wasted.
Yeah, exactly.
That's totally a thing that would have happened as well. Like, this has been made, you know?
Do you want to point out the fact that that's like, so the Hulk costume in the background, and then after we recorded last week, yeah, like we found out, and Ash like quote retweeted it. That's how I saw it or whatever. But they confirmed, like it was pointed out that the shoe thief was actually that little kid that she saved. So there's all these little details that the show's actually hiding in the background. The Hulk costume, the shoe thief. I appreciate all this. I think it's good that they're having these, like everything's in the background somewhere.
Yeah. I think in the wedding there was like I think I saw, well, at least like the main producer of Ms. Marvel. Like, or the editor. I think maybe the writer as well was in the audience as well, because they did like a real weird, like zoom in on her after they looked at her dad and stuff. So, yeah. One thing before I forget, at the beginning, obviously we get this scene with Kamala's grandmother, who turns out not the lady that we theorized from last week. So grateful for that. During the Indian partition, they've found this bracelet on somebody's arm, a blue person's arm. Don't know what that means. Only could find one. Did you see the symbol of the floor?
No.
It was 10 rings, right?
10 rings.
It was the 10 rings.
Oh shit!
Oh, everything is connected. So,
wait, do we think we then see Shang-Chi in this series?
Because, I fucking hope not.
Because Shang-Chi, at the end of Shang-Chi,
on a connecting flight, they pass at the airport because it's pretty clear they're going to India next episode.
Look, I think all these characters, like, what's the girl's name from Shang-Chi? I can't remember. Like, Aquafina's character. Yeah. Anyway, like, I think her and then Shang-Chi and then Kamala all talking. Fantastic. Can't wait to see it. Don't want it to happen.
Don't want to hear.
No.
Make me pay money.
Like, I'm not yeah. I think connecting the rings makes sense. So I didn't notice that, but that makes sense given what they, like, how they set up and had Bruce Banner obviously, like, point out that this, like, object was pointing to things. So obviously in the MCU, I think there's possibly going to be the bracelet, the rings, whatever else. They're all going to be part of, like, some mythology, I guess, which is cool.
And blue person could be, and I'm surprised actually Hobley isn't pointing this out, linked to the Martians from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. That's blood is used to save Agent Coulson. Making it canon?
I completely forgot.
I thought he was going to say Kryn or something.
I just assumed there was some.
It could be. It actually could be Kryn though. That actually would make way more sense.
Yeah,
and more realistic because they never bring.
That's what I thought he was going to say. So instead, you're like this outlandish. Like, let's talk about fucking Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
It needs to be brought up constantly. It's canon. I really enjoyed the wedding, even though it's very. I don't think I'd ever seen like a Muslim wedding before. Like, why do they ask you 3 times? They just want to make really sure.
I just think it's sure.
Yeah, I know, but
I just like the more modern. Like, I don't know. There was like some cool.
Just joking around, trying to play with it, make it fun.
Yeah, there was like some cool, like.
My favorite part was the headbanging, and then Bruno's asking like why you do that, and then that woman's just like, oh, there's like a ritual about like bringing you together, but it's mostly just fun.
The auntie.
Oh, was that the auntie? I can't remember.
That was the auntie. The auntie, I will give it full credit, right? This is the one that we've seen throughout this whole series, always like rumor mongering, inflating rumors.
Every episode, yeah.
doing a lot of that. When this rumor about Kamala was the one that pulled the alarm, she was all over shutting that shit down. She was all over like, no, that couldn't be it. Like, she was all over protecting. Yeah, like gaslighting the old lady. Like, she was all over protecting Kamala a bit. So I was like, okay, all right, I like this. I think this is I don't think it's anything. I just think it's
or it could be. Maybe she's the great grandmother.
Oh, that would be pretty cool, actually. Probably not, but that'd be interesting.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure they'll just recognize it, right?
Yeah.
Be like, hey, you're right here. Crazy. So next episode, we're going to Pakistan, right?
Yeah. I don't know what the train symbolism is, but...
I think she got on a train and left, right? That's the thing. That's how they got separated. Like, they go their separate ways. She got on they were meant to catch the train to escape, and she didn't get on the train, or vice versa.
Okay, so you're saying she's seeing symbolism to do with her,
with her great grandmother's stealing the bracelet.
Yeah, okay.
Keeping the other jinns here in this universe. Okay. My question is, if they've been here for so long, why didn't they create an incursion?
I don't know. that's I don't know.
Multiverses, am I right?
They're not big enough.
Too many plot holes. But Doctor Strange showing up was going to cause massive... spoilers. All right. Anything else you feel like we need to discuss from this week's episode of Ms. Marvel? Bit weird that Bruno just gives her the mask as well. In a box.
I think it's just a nice thing when, it's like, I'm working on this.
She's like, this helmet is too much effort. Just put this one piece of plastic on your face.
That's fair.
Fools everybody.
I was going to bring up... we've all seen like that story going around today about the viewership and stuff. I thought that was...
so apparently viewership within the first 5 days of release is the lowest of the Marvel shows so far. Yeah, I think it's 775,000 views.
Do you have the asterisks on it?
It's up in...
it is the highest rating of younger viewers in Black, Hispanic, and Asian households than any other MCU show.
Yeah.
So, although all these news stories are leading with the big headline of lowest watched MCU show, it is doing the highest in the audiences it wants to hit. So, I actually think it's a success story. Like, I know all the headlines for this are reading it as a show's a flop, but I'm like, no, I mean, if it's the highest viewed in basically every household but Wyatt's, like, is that not the
audience you're trying to get? Yeah.
Yeah, is that not a win? Like, what's the, like, and I see all these people in the comments being like, everyone's trying to make this about racism, but maybe we just don't want to watch a show about a teenage girl. I'm like, if this was fucking Spider-Man and Peter Parker, y'all be watching it. And that's a teenage white dude. So let's not even try.
Yeah, like, I don't think it is. When you think about it, it's not super comparable when every other one of these TV shows has either been based on a character we've already seen in the MCU or starred a big movie star. So all last year's ones were connected, to the MCU. You had Moon Knight, but, you had Oscar Isaac leading that. This one, you've got an unknown actress in a teen drama, which, isn't going to exactly be something a certain part of the audience is going to want to watch. So, it makes sense. I'm sure they're happy with it. I'm sure they're not spending the same amount of money on Ms. Marvel as they are the other shows.
I still reckon there's a very high percentage, and there's just no way around it, of Muslim superhero that has a lot of fucking people that go, nah, no way, bro.
This is where I draw the line, mate.
Nah, not watching that shit, mate. No fucking way. There's no way that's not a thing that like a percentage of it is, So, but I do think it's a positive story, even though it's like, it's hitting for you've got all these young kids. Like, the whole idea of making a show like this isn't for like people like myself to sit here as, the white dude. Like, this show's great.
For
like, I'm loving the show.
You know,
Yeah, I'm loving the show, but I don't think that matters. It's like saying it's got the highest viewer rate in Asian, Black, and whatever else households. I can't remember the third demographic, but like that's if it's hitting with the younger audience there, then yeah, the show's a success. So I think that's important to. They need to spin the headlines, and these fucking news places should make it a positive headline, not a Miss Marvel flops in White household.
All right. Let us know what you thought of this latest episode of Ms. Marvel. Is this flopping in your white household? Let us know by going to explosion.com/Twitter or jumping into a Discord at explosion.com/Discord. If you want to help us out here at All New Marvelcast, leave us a review on Apple Podcasts or on Podchaser. Leave us 5 stars. Anywhere you can leave 5 stars. Or just tell people about the #1 Australian-made MCU podcast on the internet. And if you like this episode, those with the dollar, head on over to our Ko-fi page at explosion.com/support. And make sure you watch next week's episode of Ms. Marvel and join us next time for another All New Marvelcast.